So it apparently is the case now that apparently Ref has like some kind of evil twin. At least I call him Ref's evil twin. And he's basically losing it over right-wing VTubers. Isn't that funny? Apparently that's what I got from Twitter. I held off for this because I wanted to wait and I didn't check anything. But he's an interesting being. Noble person once us deleted for quote unquote grifting. Which, by the way, absolute buzzword. Nobody knows what that means at this point. This is Baref. We're gonna jump in. I guess he wants me gone too because I might end up being a grifter. Who knows? Anyways, from the thumbnail, I can already say I see Powder, I see Ref, I see Leaflet, and Korshe, Kirsche. Nice. We're gonna look at this. This is gonna be really interesting. That's gonna be hella funny, probably.
Hey, what's up guys, Ruff here. So today we'll be reacting to this video uploaded by a completely normal individual titled, "The Right-Wing VTuber Grifter Situation is Insane." A very moist, critical, coded title right there, to be honest, but you can see the like to dislike ratio. It's not going too well for this individual. 198 likes versus 656 dislikes, and you can see the thumbnail. Before we get into the actual content, the thumbnail is very interesting. It says,
"Yeah, we need to bully these people more." That's very interesting. See, the problem with these idiots, right? The problem with these idiots that make these videos, right? Whammy was recently another one of these dickheads who attacked Tomo for probably very likely similar reasons. Not really, because, well, he's mad she's political, which, by the way, she can because she's in the military, but that's besides the point. According to some of you guys, at least, she can't. I don't know. You tell me. And, practically, it is just really funny. These people, like, all these people here, wouldn't be that big. Because if you didn't give them attention, they wouldn't blow up as much. Which means as many people wouldn't find them, which makes it worse. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
"We need to bully these people more." This entire video is celebrating harassment and deplatforming and removing of sponsors from people like myself while trying to claim that they're the empathetic ones. Doesn't really work. But anyways, the thumbnail is interesting too because you can see down here you have Leaflet and Kirsche, and this will be important for a couple of reasons in just a second, but these are two VTubers
I really like these two. They're really based. I love Kirsche and Leaflet. They're great. They're actually really great. I like them. They're not gonna lie. She could have Leaflet could have spared us with the Niara debate because that was the absolute epitome of left-wing brain rot.
do enjoy, but they also included Powder, who's been going through her
I like Powder. I like her. She's also cool. She's also based. And she makes Twitter mad. Really, really mad.
her own cancellation campaign recently, which I think is totally overblown and ridiculous as well, but it's weird to include her with me in the background as the sort of puppeteer of everything going on, when my only interaction with Powder is a video from about 2 years ago where I criticized her. So it's weird to kind of lump us together, but here is the video, and let's set some ground rules, okay?
So that like to dislike ratio is peak. That like to dislike ratio is absolute cinema. Peak. Absolute peak. I wonder what the comments look like on this one.
The person making this considers everyone we just talked about, Powder, Kirsche, Leaflet, myself, we're all fascists and grifters in the eyes of this individual, and we deserve everything that's coming to us. And, well, you can see their hat. It says, "This machine kills fascists." First of all, shiver me timbers. Wow, this guy is really...
Bro, you're not killing anybody. Yeah, maybe of laughter, but that's about it, buddy. Buddy, maybe laughter. Maybe laughter. That's it though. That's it though. Laughter at best. He is evil. He is evil, Ref.
off the edge. I'm very nervous right now. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we know what you mean. You should say it with your chest. But anyways, let's get into this very enthralling video.
This video is drama slop and politics slop. I am warning you now.
Yeah, couldn't tell. Couldn't tell.
If you don't want to see drama slop and politics slop about the VTuber community, then I suggest you do not watch this video.
Okay. Before we get into anything, again, I'm sorry to pause again. Just know this. Listen to his opinions and listen to his voice. This guy is literally the VTuber Vosh.
VTuber Vosh. Does he also have the lolly horse corn on his hard drive by any chance? Nah, he's just evil ref, honestly.
Literally, to his core, who is again someone I've criticized many years ago for accidentally leaking his folder after years and years of calling anime fans predators over their choices. He had a folder that got leaked. It had lolly hentai on there, as well as horse-related stuff. Really on brand for Vosh, but yeah, this guy sounds exactly like him, and his opinions sound exactly like him. But let's continue.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. So I've been aware of the phenomenon of like right-wing VTuber grifters for a while now. I mean, I guess it makes sense that like they exist because lots of VTuber culture tends to kind of skew a little bit left-wing. And when it comes to people who like VTubers, there are a lot of loser virgin chuds looking for a home, you know, who feel...
Well, guys, I guess I'm a chud.
Oh no, the majority of VTubers are straight white males! We need to obliterate the space! Right now! Get the pest control! The liberal pest control. Fucking idiot. Absolute troglodyte.
You know, happily married man. Turns out I'm a chud. And anyone who's gainfully employed or has a significant other, you're a chud too. But that's just the way it goes, according...
Yes. The married men who like VTubers also virgin chuds. How does that exactly work? It's like, words have meaning, except for leftists. Then they don't have meaning. Then they have the meaning the meaning is what I make it. Basically. It's just horrible, stupid. It's just dumb as fuck.
To this individual, but they bring up the term grifter. We're going to see this over and over again. This is one of the many definitions of grifter. Now, there's many variations, but the overall premise is the same. It's someone who has fake beliefs, someone who fakes their political or cultural beliefs just to make a buck, just to deceive people, and it's on the accusers like this who believe myself and the others included in this video are grifters. Like, show us where we are faking opinions.
Everything I say, I literally mean. Well, if I don't mean something, I literally say it's a joke. But most of the things I say, I mean the way they are. Unless they're obvious, very clear sarcasm. Like, oh, they have an opinion that differs from me. They must be lying. They must be doing this for money. Yes, because it works so much to make it do it for money. Remember what happened to Ref and Advance, GG? Remember what happened to Celestium recently with her plushie? I don't know, bro. Weird, but you know, you clearly make money.
Monetary gain. Because if I'm a grifter, this is I'm really bad at it, okay? Because this whole video is celebrating me losing my sponsorship with Advanced. They think it's funny. Not because they actually believe with an actual reason that I'm some fascist, crazy person.
They also did that to Chibi reviews who got recently cheated on. Like, the quote tweets are just full of people, like, celebrating it, so that doesn't surprise me.
They just disagree with some of my takes. And that's really it. It's really sad. So it's on the accuser to prove that I am literally faking my opinions for the sole purpose of monetary gain. But let's continue.
feel like they can't find a VTuber who represents their politics, their shitty, toxic, awful politics. So, you know, obviously there's a market, which leads to the rise of the right-wing grifter VTuber. You know, a lot of them are basically just kind of copying Asmongold's YouTube.
Hey, just literally show me that. Just literally show me that, bro. Just literally prove to me that these people are grifters. You need to show me. You need to show me proof, literal text written that they admit they do this for money. Show that to me. You can't. You can't because it doesn't exist. Also, like Asmongold, a lot of the so-called grifters have a lot more radical takes than Asmongold. Like even I have more radical takes than Asmongold at times. Yeah, clearly a copy of Asmongold. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Crazy dude. He is evil ref. Let's say happy Valentine's Day. I hate that day.
Channel. It's a lot of just like Gamergate reaction content and just general politics reactions. And
So I like how they're calling out.
Yeah, Leaflet's thumbnails are interesting sometimes. Like Leaflet's thumbnails are at times, they are at times crazy. Like they are at times just that straight up diabolical. They just are. They just are absolutely insane sometimes. And like, but like the expressions sometimes, like, okay, why? But it's funny.
Out like, oh, the grifter content, the Asmongold copy content. Like, you're not gonna see any actual criticisms of anything I say right here. Like this video, for example, he's citing as an example of this. How am I wrong? How am I wrong? The game on the left that does not want to play into modern day stuff has double the wish lists of a very similar genre of a game that says they want to play into the modern agenda. How am I wrong? Like, it's on you. Again, you're calling me out. Explain how I'm wrong in this video.
Awful, shitty opinions about current events. Yeah, no, it's a awful cesspool of bootlicking and bullshit. But you know,
I have noticed something. The soy boy archetype is insanely off-putting, right? We have like the neckbeards. We have like the like yeah, right. I just like people make fun of neckbeards, but at least they have have their own opinions. They stand their ground. Soy boys are just with the current thing. That's just what it is. God.
pays the bills, I guess. So literally just today, I made the mistake of thinking to myself, what's going on in the right-wing VTuber grifter sphere? And I went ahead and looked and was immediately made angry by how stupid this current drama is.
So again, he's citing the whole advanced situation where I talked about the VTuber Miss Lala. Again, you can disagree with my take. Do you believe that justifies me having my sponsor removed or calling me like things that I'm not and accusing me of being a grifter and all these things? Clearly, they don't have any evidence of that, but whatever.
I'm not going to sit here and cover like this entire like play-by-play.
One stat thing about the internet is that you can't just literally punch people, because a lot of these people there, they would not say the stuff that they do say online. They wouldn't say those things, right? Like the violence, the threats of violence. They wouldn't say that IRL because they get the head kicked in. That's the funny part.
A lot of it's very stupid, but just as a quick overview, Miss Lala is a VTuber, has kind of like a 1950s kind of diner aesthetic to her model and her stream, and she tweets out "fuck ICE," which of course, based, good opinion, everybody agrees with this.
Clearly, not everyone agrees with this. Like this.
I don't agree with it. Are they retired sometimes and make horrible, dumb mistakes that could be avoided if they had better training? And maybe a different strategy? Sure. But the core idea is good. 100%. I wish Europe had something similar like that. Unfortunately, we don't, but like, hey, yo, I'll take it.
This is the most disingenuous part of this whole thing. You think everyone agrees with this because you agree with it. You're a narcissist. Not everyone agrees with this. And despite all of the controversy my tweet responding to this making a joke about it got, it had like over 10,000 likes. At least 10,000 people agreed with me, so clearly you're just wrong. It's okay to have differing opinions and to make quotes of public tweets.
Based opinion. If you don't agree with this, fuck you. That gets quote retweeted by Rev, who is one of these just like Gamergate right-wing grifter VTubers. Generally just like kind of a like hateable human being from everything I've ever seen of him. And he accuses her.
The funny thing is like this person says like I'm a hateable individual. Like despite all the stuff this person is going to talk about in this video, I don't hate this person. I don't think they should lose sponsorships for whatever they're saying. In fact, what they're doing.
Same. I don't think he should be banned. I don't think he should be lose his sponsorships. That is, if he has any. I don't think anything bad should happen to this dude. But he is fucking retarded. That I can't disagree with that though. He is definitely he's like the retarded twin brother of Ref.
In this video is exactly what I was accused of doing. I was accused of sending harassment and trying to bully people. This guy is literally saying we need to bully these people more. And he's celebrating us losing platforms or sponsorships over differing opinions. This person is doing exactly what the mob was trying to accuse me of doing and use as a justification, despite me not even doing it, to lose opportunities or be deplatformed or whatever. It's crazy. There's no self-awareness whatsoever.
Of being a hypocrite because she's a 1950s aesthetic VTuber and she hates the current federal agency that's more tame than any law enforcement agency of the time period included in her LARP, and then criticizes her for locking replies. So like, first off, this is not hypocrisy. This is,
well, if you do want to have a discussion, then you can't lock replies. If you do want to have a discussion, you cannot lock replies. Shocker, I know. Right? She's like, oh, we can talk about this then. But you lock replies. Interesting. Highly interesting. You don't want to talk about this. That's very true.
The hypocrisy is actually in the reply, but he'll get to it. But here's the thing. If you think my take is stupid and you hate all these grifters you included in the thumbnail, let me inform you, because you obviously haven't looked into this. I know that Kirsha, as well as Leaflet, don't agree with my main post. They criticized it too. So if you think they're grifters and I'm the puppeteer behind them, like in the thumbnail, I'm not doing a very good job, am I? Where my little...
Yeah, pretty much. You're not doing the right job. See, I don't agree with everything Ref says. I don't agree with everything Kirsche, Leaflet, all these people say. But generally, I think we're all pretty much aligned. Here's the thing though. I think this guy is just very much isolated in his bubble, and that's why he believes everyone disagrees. Right? The problem is with people, oh, everyone agrees with my take, is like, yeah, that's because you are in a bubble. That's a clear sign. If everyone agrees with the take you have, that means you are in a bubble. That's it. That means something is wrong. Because you absolutely should surround yourself with people that disagree with you. Because otherwise, you may not realize that something is wrong, that you believe in something that's wrong, factually wrong even, maybe. Who knows?
My little minions are out here publicly disagreeing with my take. But here's the difference. They're mature enough to say, I disagree with his statement. I don't really agree with what he was trying to say there. But I don't think he deserves harassment. I don't think he should be deplatformed. I don't think...
Yeah, I kind of don't agree with that either, because, like, you know, it's just a role that she plays, right? Right? You have, like, a police, you could have, like, a police VTuber that doesn't necessarily agree with what some things that the police does, right? That's, like, fine. I don't see the problem here. I don't agree necessarily with that either. Just because she LARPs like a 1950s woman in a diner doesn't mean she has to have 1950s beliefs. It'd also be crazy because then she would be in parts probably. There's a good chance she would need to be acting like she's giga homophobic probably. Because some parts in some countries that was still illegal, right?
You should lose sponsorships. I know, very complicated sort of set of logic there, but let's hang on and see what else this person has to say.
Incredibly stupid point that makes zero sense.
Okay,
somebody
fair
deciding they want to use a 1950s aesthetic for the VTuber does not require that they agree with 1950s
Fair enough.
politics. I don't understand where this is coming from. The whole drama kind of spirals into something stupid in the first place, but this being the starting point is so incredibly dumb. His criticism is so incredibly stupid. It makes no sense. Like,
The first part is a joke. I think everyone knows it was a joke. But the sort of hypocrisy being pointed out is in the replies, but he'll get to it.
Oh man, you're a dog VTuber? Oh, but you don't just bark your entire stream and you speak in English? Wow, what a hypocrite. Oh, you're a vampire VTuber and you go out during the day? Oh, hypocrite. It's just dumb. Like, I don't understand where
Okay,
this
you
even
can think it's
came
dumb,
from.
that's fine.
I don't know. Rev seems like kind of a moron, honestly. Like, I've never thought he was like a very good person, but he also just seems kind of stupid. There's a lot of mention thrown back and forth in this exchange of like harassment. None of this is harassment.
So they're saying none of this is harassment, where my point in this tweet is, well, they kept on one of their partners who was...
If you tolerate what Vex does, but you have a problem with what Ref does, which by your own according logic is technically the same, then you shouldn't have a problem with Ref saying, yo, advanced GG, she just does literally the same. Why do I get punished but not she? Which, by the way, she started deleting tweets, right? This woman is incredibly racist. This woman is incredibly, like, Vex literally says, oh, there's no racism against white people. Straight up. They put Sonichu in mutagenics. That is horrible. That is horrible. Does this one also have incest? Anyways, what's the problem? That's what I'm questioning myself, particularly for this guy. What's the problem here?
harassing me. They were joining in on the brigade to get me deplatformed. This person doesn't want to show you by clicking on these actual tweets, but you can see right here. An advanced partner said, I will block you if you defend Rev or Straub, my wife. You absolute effing bootlicking weirdos. F ICE and absolutely F you. And here's another tweet included saying, anyway, I'm muting this now because I'm not putting up with you weirdos defending someone who wouldn't spit on you if you're on fire. And they continue down here saying, F ICE, F Rev, and F you if you...
Here's the funny thing with Vex, right? She's e-begging. You heard that, right? She's e-begging. Here's the thing, okay? She's e-begging. Like, literally. She goes onto the internet and says that she can't afford things. So her Sims pay for it. She's literally e-begging. She did it with a movie ticket for the Iron Lung movie. And I think she just recently did it for groceries or something? Medication? Something like that. But she's e-begging. Yeah, I don't think you have to take serious anything she says. And it's funny, right? It's funny. We still don't have any proof that she actually had cancer 5 times. It's interesting. It's interesting. Vex VTuber Frogan, VTuber Frogan, pretty much she is VTuber Frogan. Apparently also, that's only what I've heard, okay? That's only what I've heard. Apparently she was fairly conservative until she was hit by her cancer. So I guess, pretty much summarized, the cancer may have fucked her brain. See, the cancer may have left, but not her cancer's attitude, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways.
defend either. Get back on your knees where you belong and keep licking. Maybe they'll praise you eventually because God knows your parents didn't. This is not criticism.
Yeah, I think the last... she also said something along the lines to... You shouldn't... You shouldn't be... Like, she basically told somebody that he shouldn't have been born. Basically. That's what she did. But a lot more harsh. A lot more harsh.
Are you serious? You don't want to click on these actual posts I shared because you know this is not just criticism, it is harassment. This is harassment. There's no valid criticism. All this is dogpiling on a situation where an active partner with the same company I was in at the time was trying to actively go against one of her fellow partners.
Yeah, and Vans GG was essentially begging for people repping them, but not happening. Not happening. Go bankrupt. Thank you.
And joined in on the brigade to get us removed.
Rev is correct. Like, quoting a tweet is not harassment, even if you're mean, even if what you're saying is really stupid. Nobody harassed anybody here. It feels like a lot of people are just like weaponizing that word to make it seem like the person on the other side of the conflict did something like morally indefensible so that they can kind of gain the high ground, and all that's kind of dumb.
Literally what this entire video is. This entire video is disagreeing with someone and using that as the moral high ground to justify anything that happens to them. This is literally the entire video. He's looking in a mirror right now.
However, locking your replies when you're getting a lot of hate, like, that's valid. This idea that you're like not allowed to lock your replies, or that you're like obligated somehow to allow people to comment under your post and like be toxic towards you, like, that's it's so stupid. I don't understand like where people got this idea that you're required to sit there and read all of like the criticism about you and like allow it to be aired out. You're allowed to.
Yeah, you're allowed. It's freedom of association. You do not.
You're allowed to ignore the criticism that you get. That's fine. The problem is more so that people take criticism and reframe it as harassment, which didn't happen. There was no harassment happening. There was no harassment happening, at least not from Ref's side. Right? What his viewers do are what his followers and viewers do is what his followers and viewers do. That has nothing to do with him. Unless he actively goes there and says, yo, harass this person. Nothing happened here. Really, nothing happened here. I find people using illness and disabilities as shields are so cringe. Like, I'm epileptic, but but it's not my personality. Yeah, but that's so common now. Oh, you can't criticize me. I have autism. I don't give a shit. That doesn't protect you from being a dog shit human. It does not. It's just like so stupid because people love you weaponizing their autism. I don't care. If you can't handle the heat, why are you on the internet then? It's that simple. Or why are you doing stupid things? Also, I'm doing good. Nice. Good to hear. Awesome.
Have to sit there and read stuff. You can block people. You can lock replies. But the reason I pointed out this hypocrisy from the beginning is that Lala replied to me, and the first thing she said is, if you want to have a conversation about my actions, then come to me and let's have a conversation, while locking the replies on the main tweets. That is the whole point. That was the whole point. That's the hypocrisy. You know this, but you don't want to say it. It's so obvious. That is the hypocrisy. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't say, let's have a conversation, referring to a tweet where you blocked any chance at a conversation.
To curate your social media.
Another bit of hypocrisy in her post, also that she was using a Bible verse. But here's the funny thing. She takes it out of, as usual, with people using Bible verses against Christians, it's really funny because they're always used out of context. And they use it as like oh, here, look at this. You have to do this. I don't have to, but you have to. Yeah, use this out of context, bitch. So it doesn't apply here. Right? Some of the people here love to use love thy neighbor out of context.
Media space. Like, if you don't want to see criticism of yourself, like, that's fine. Lock your comments.
Okay.
Who cares? And anybody who criticizes you.
Yeah, but then you can't be a hypocrite and say, talk to me. That doesn't work that way.
And implies that you are like required to allow public dogpiling of yourself. Just don't listen to them. That's a stupid opinion. I don't know. Again, it's just people finding things to try and criticize about the other side to sort of gain some sort of like moral high ground. I would say the only like truth of this situation is that Rev's attack was just stupid in the first place and made.
So it's an attack when I quote someone publicly. I mean, right off the bat, that's just stupid. But again, you say my take is stupid, which is fine. You're allowed to think what I say is stupid. I'm allowed to think what you're saying is stupid. But I don't think that
It's not an attack. Quote tweaking somebody. We need to. Again, that's the problem with these people. They twist and turn meanings of words so it can fit their own definition of what it actually means. That's just the class. It's just the classic tactic, right? You see that we see that especially with like specific terms that just get redefined once in a while, so people lose the forget what is meant. For example, DEI was once named something else. The agenda was pushed under a different name, and then DEI was the term being used, and it will soon be a new term because they're always term hopping, because then they can just push their ideology further. That's just usually what happens.
justifies bullying people harder or trying to get their sponsors removed or deplatforming them, or in this case, we know the not so subtle goal here based on this this hat and its message and what he's saying about people like me and the others included in this video.
Made no sense. It's not that he did something like wrong or morally incorrect, it's that he's just a fucking moron. Also, Rev likes to
Is
use
that a
the term
crime?
Twitter freaks a lot when criticizing people or like groups of people who are either criticizing him or criticizing his opinions or things that he feels defensive about. I think that's pretty interesting considering some of the responses that seem to agree with his take. I definitely agree. There are some Twitter freaks out there.
Well, this is interesting because they're doing the exact thing that was kind of the narrative that, like, I'm responsible for every single person on the internet.
Yep, of course. Somebody of my community now goes up and shoots and shoots somebody. Of course, I'm the one to blame for that, right? Because like he's from my community. You see how you hear that? You hear how silly that sounds? Like somebody from my community goes out and harasses somebody. I'm not in control. Like nobody's in control of other people. What is this? Affirmative action was the OG term. I can tell you an even more OG term. The most OG term ever. Communism. Anyways, because they're all linked to communism at the end of the day. It's all the same shit. Outside it may look diverse, but inside it's red.
Who criticizes the people that I criticize or says things to the people I criticize, that's ridiculous. It's just like with Lala. Okay, do you understand how many insane and deranged and threatening and slanderous comments and quotes and separate tweets I got from people doing it in defense of her? But I don't blame her. That's not her audience, and that's not her intentions. Despite us disagreeing, I'm not going to attribute that to her. It's that simple. This is a gigantic reach. It's a desperate reach. And on top of that, we hear this Twitter freak language. Everyone knows it's a phrase for people who harass others over fictional content, or they try to deplatform.
It's a phrase for the mentally ill. That's what it is for. It's a phrase for the mentally ill people of Twitter. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them out there. Unfortunately. Right? I've just recently seen it again. Recently somebody started the Black VTuber awards, right? First of all, why do you need a Black VTuber award? Your mission is just, you're not trying to be part of the community and be accepted, you just try to isolate yourself. That was my take on it. And then Shiro, I don't necessarily agree with her at times. I think she does have some stupid takes on Twitter. However, she started the White VTuber Awards, and she was, funnily enough, she was harassed and like banned on multiple platforms, including suspended, including Twitter, VGen, and Ko-Fi. Very interesting, isn't it? But the other ones aren't. Funny how that double standard exists. Funny how that double standard exists. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
People for having different opinions. It is not that deep. Okay? I will appreciate that this person didn't take the low route we see all the time where people say, oh, when Rev says Twitter freak, he means minorities or trans people or stuff like that, which was never at all any sort of an intention of this phrase that was developed by someone other than myself. That was
See, Twitter freak is not based on whether you're a minority Twitter freak is based on whether you're so mentally ill you cannot differentiate between reality and fiction. That's what it is being used for. And okay, and also like people harass others and shit. It's just that. It's just shit like that. Of course, again, these people want to misconstrue and say like minorities. No, we don't need any particular for specific minorities. Hoodweeb has already become a thing for the anime community, so there's that. We don't need one particularly like all of them. Powder will win both of the award shows, probably. Yeah. It's just funny how much hate Powder, but also I've noticed Banana Juju gets. Juju also gets a lot of hate for no reason.
Silvervale, not me, which by the way was developed referring to people harassing others for playing Hogwarts Legacy. Okay?
Like, the main takeaway for me from
Which, by the way, that hasn't died yet. There is once in a while somebody gets shit for playing Hogwarts Legacy, some VTuber, or some person. This isn't something that's like hidden or doesn't happen that often. That is very common. Once in a while, somebody will be harassed for playing Hogwarts Legacy. Those same people, by the way, also harassed two artists who refused to draw gay ships because of their religion. Without them even considering that it's not just because of religion, but maybe even of local laws. But then again, they would much rather have somebody be basically put into jail for drawing gay ships due to local law than not get their gay art. We also have that, right? Draw the art bigot, bake the cake bigot.
just like the starting point of this entire series of events is that Rev is not like a very serious person.
But you are? You're the serious person? Like, look, man, we're all rolling around in the mud, okay? We're not very serious people, but you cannot take the moral high ground and say, like, I'm Mr. Serious, while wearing a kill fascists hat, while sitting with this arcade background and just spurging out over absolutely nothing without making a singular...
Evil Ref? I wonder if Ref looked at this and was like, this would be me. If I just went a different route, this could have been me. Because like we have the glasses, right? We have blue instead of red eyes. I think they're blue, at least they look blue. We still have a very feminine. We have a feminine model. We have the choker. It's just evil Ref. It straight up just is. Ref got a twin. It's just evil Ref. It just is like it's like very close. It is not. It's like not very close, but like I see the inspiration. Maybe it's just an alienated Ref fan. Maybe his little heart got broken.
Real reason I deserve anything that happened with the advanced situation.
On the one hand, he says that like criticizing people isn't harassing anybody, and then he turns around right away and accuses other people of harassing him for basically just publicly criticizing him.
It's not just basically publicly criticizing. I already showed this, but you guys understand. Trying to get someone deplatformed, attacked.
Yeah, but then if it wasn't a big deal, why did Advenge GG make her delete her controversial tweets? Odd. That's weird. That's odd. Hogwarts Legacy slaps. I don't care what the idiots say. Tons of streamers said they were afraid to play it on stream because of the audience they made. Yep. Audience captured. Absolute audience captured. A lot of people cannot play this game. And it looks fun. But a lot of people cannot play this game because the community would spurg out. I don't see him as a twin. I mean, look at it, right? We have like everything almost like we have similar design choices, right? We have a feminine avatar. We have a choker, glasses, red instead of blue eyes. It's just there. It's just there. And he's like the left-wing version. He's just an evil twin. Negative, Ref. That's what it is. I made some cocktails today. Ooh, nice, nice. Ref, Lumian, and this Jackson. All three Avatar look like siblings. uh, I guess Louis would be one of the good siblings here then. Adventure G's getting cooked consistently on Twitter. Yeah, the replies are always locked as well. And yeah, that like, oh, we will follow 50 people that like this post. Yeah. You try to get the people back that you lost, but those people are also not coming back. Those people are not coming back. Maybe like a little feminine brother, maybe. But those people are not coming back. See, that's the problem with this caving into the woke mob. It is pretty much the people, if you cave in, then the people that already hate you already left to begin with. They're not gonna come back, the woke mob. They have left. They're not gonna come back. And the other side is also now gonna reject you. So you lost not just half of your customer base, you lost all of them. Crazy. All three are dudes behind lolly avatars. Go into Lumi's stream and call him a lolly. I want to see that. Go. Usually I don't say anything. Don't do that to that person, but go ahead, do it. I want to see what happens. And clip it.
Someone else who is in the same company as you and joining in a brigade, trying to get someone removed from that same company is not just simple harassment. That person provided literally zero reason that I did anything wrong. All they said was F me, F my wife, whatever, and that anyone who stands with them is a bootlicker and someone that is bad.
I guess if you publicly criticize somebody like more than once, does that then become harassment based on his standards? I don't really understand. He's a grifter. He's a drama profiteer.
How? How am I a grifter? I mean, you want to say drama profiteer, you're literally trying to profit off of drama right now.
Yeah. We're all drama profiteers. I'm not denying that, actually. Right? I love reacting to drama. As long as I'm not involved, I'm cool. I don't care. But we all like it. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. Like, there's like all these like VTubers on Twitter are like, oh, I don't like drama. I wish drama would just disappear. You look through the history, it's like, oh, they started drama. Interesting. Well, that's funny. Stupidity.
So that's you too. But how am I a grifter? I'll wait. How am I faking my opinions? I've been consistent for so many years. The only thing that really happened is I've become more honest because all this nonsense I've talked about for years has...
Yeah, because now the tides have turned, right? The tides have turned, which means now you can be more open about what you believe without walking with eggshells constantly because some sensitive idiot can't just take it. You live in a utopia if you believe you'll never. You live in a utopia if you believe that you'll ever not be offended. You have to deal with being offended if you want to interact with other humans. That is the reality. These people would spurg out if they listen to the opinions of more conservative leaning countries. Like some of the Southeast Asian countries, some of the Muslim countries, some of the Balkans, some more conservative European countries. Balkans are in Europe. I'm an idiot. Some of the more Russia. These people don't realize that the vast majority on this planet, Africa, the vast majority on this planet does not agree with them. It's funny, but it's true. Go into Africa. Go to Africa and talk to them about LGBTQ. Worst case scenario, your butthole is triple the size it originally was. They show you what LGBT is. They will show you what a BBC is, probably. You'll grow one day as a channel and drama will find the way to you, Poke. And I'm gonna farm it. I'm gonna farm it like Tectone does it and everyone else does it in this case. I don't care. Just ref clickbait new people with this avatar. People see Lolly and Bang growing ass man voice. But that works. That's the truth though. That works. Right? That just works though. Right? You need to look at a lot of other Bambiniku, I think is the term you use, right? There's a lot of other VTubers that do the same. Female avatar. Voiced from a 60-year-old a smoker. Grifter, someone who pushes things they don't believe. I'm pretty sure Ref is Christian. He's pretty conservative, and he does love his wife. Yep, he does love his wife. He literally has this in his Twitter name. I adore BBC. I'm not talking about the news channel here.
Has bled into hobbies I actually care about, and it makes it more frontward facing, especially when it comes to political stuff being injected into my hobbies. Like many others, it's made people become more quote-unquote political because it's inescapable.
See, Ref would be out of a job, right? He would be out of a job if these people wouldn't be retarded. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing.
It becomes something that is intrinsically tied to hobbies it was never meant to be in the first place.
Plays dumb and innocent in the face of any criticism for his awful opinions and his awful behavior. And he shouts, woke and Twitter.
What is my awful behavior, by the way? Can someone help me? What is the awful behavior? They have no...
Wrong thing. Your awful behavior is wrong thing. That's the awful behavior. It's wrong thing. That's it. True, as some Lumian thought is a female, then be bamboozled by a husky European man. Isn't Lumi Brazilian? Did I get something wrong? Hold up. That can't be right. I mean, with the glasses, she wasn't awful as awful as one can be. That's funny. Bad interviews are peak.
No citation.
Freak when he criticizes things that he doesn't like. And that's about it. For the record, there are a lot of people on Twitter who have some really stupid opinions, but he doesn't hate those people. He loves those people. They're his content. They're also his audience. He's a valueless husk.
I'm a valueless husk. Now, I'm glad you included the screenshot, so you're using these videos as examples of me being a valueless husk. When, for example, the only videos you actually watch to completion, or the only one, is where I'm talking briefly about the advanced situation.
I don't think that is anything surprising, though, right? I don't believe that is anything surprising. I mean, consider this. Do you really think these people would actually, like, look through your content, right? And be like, they would look through your content and, like, try to understand where it come from? No, you're wrong thinking. So, of course, they wouldn't do that. You see Demi claiming a Mythic Town streamer's view botting. It's like, she has no proof, right? She has no proof. And yet she claims view botting. And let's not forget that Demi likes to be a little bit of a, what's the word? A little bit of a mean girl. Actually, no, she is a mean girl. Nobody just likes to say it openly because they're all scared to say it. Ref Bat thing gaslighting us that he didn't change his glass size. Glasses size? Yeah. That's the only thing he can be accused of.
And let my audience know what's going on because they were genuinely curious as to what's going on because they were left in the dark. Then you give this video about 1 minute of a watch, and then this one about 1 minute of a watch. And now you've completely settled your opinion on me. Interesting. Now, of course, I would go to your account, but I see you're playing a lot of World of Warcraft, and you know what? I go back and say, oh, you're playing Classic WoW? I understand why you're so ornery and so angry. I get it. I understand.
Who's
5 months ago, by the way. Anyways.
Still posts Gamergate content in 2026. Honestly, he should be shamed and bullied off of every platform, and he should lose all business deals that he manages to get his hands on. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
Okay, well, that's really good criticism. We've received basically none this entire time. It's crazy. Like I said earlier, the entire reason people were justifying my sponsorship being removed was due to the fact they believed that I was somehow leading a harassment campaign against people like Lala, and that I was trying to actively send my followers to bully them, and you have a person like this justifying the results that happen to me while saying I should be bullied without ever presenting.
By the way, that's the same people. Again, you need to realize this. You cannot coexist with these people because they want you dead. That's the first thing you need to realize with these people, right? You cannot coexist with them. They want you dead. They want you to disappear. We've especially seen this recently with chibi reviews. Wife cheated on him with his best friend. Friend room completely is on best friend's side. We've seen these, and these troglodytes are celebrating that he attempted to take his life, almost died. They're celebrating. They're clapping. Their seal clapping is crazy. Don't forget that they want you dead.
A single reason or piece of proof that I ever directed harassment or bullying towards anyone. The irony is absolutely palpable, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, throughout the rest of this video, we're only 6 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. They talk about Leaflet, they talk about Kirsha, and I guess they talk about Powder as well. I think every person involved.
Powder getting the short end of the stick. Poor Powder. Well, the ref section seems to be the longest. I wish I would have talked about the others as well, but you can't have everything. Here's the thing, though. Leaflet really is just like the most milquetoast, moderate conservative ever. And honestly, Kirsha is not that far away, right? They're fairly moderate in their takes. Also, I really appreciate Kirsha into mostly looking into all that bridge shit. And then there's moments where she like covers an article where lesbians shove something into their asses. Food, by the way, and then it leaks out, and then they eat it. You get the idea? But aside from that, she's really chill. I don't see the problem.
Will make their own video or reaction to this at some point. It was actually Leaflet and her reaction that helped me discover this absolute black hole of a video. And it turns out, too, you go to this person's account, and it seems like they made a follow-up. I ain't clicking on that. What do words mean?
I ain't clicking on... Same, I wouldn't click on that either. Same. Look at that, 700 views. Right, it's almost in my view range. The only thing he got 5.3k views on that one thing is probably because popular faces on it. That's it.
I don't know, man. You need to settle down and tell me why all of us are fascists, why all of us are grifters, and even do it specifically for me. I don't know. Like, I guarantee there's no way this is going well. 54 likes.
54 likes, 96 dislikes. Yeah. That didn't work, buddy. That didn't work.
96 dislikes. It literally, this cannot be worth it. This literally cannot be worth it whatsoever. But, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share this video with you guys because it's truly insane. But that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topic.
To summarize, the mentally ill are mentally illing. That's really it. The mentally ill are doing mentally ill things. That's the summary of it. And to be fair, he said nothing. Because he has... So he basically yapped into the void, didn't prove anything. Like, literally didn't prove anything. I'm assuming he didn't prove anything for Leaflet. I'm assuming he didn't prove anything for Kirsha, not anything for Powder. Just yap into the void without ever providing any proof of what he actually says. Because, well, he can't. That's always... See, they always call you like a Nazi, a fascist, but never a liar. Never a liar. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.